Have you ever stopped to think about it? There's this invisible language all around us, shaping how we use technology every single day. Seriously, from your phone to your car, there's a conversation happening. It's a design that either helps us or, well, more often than not, really, really frustrates us. So let's try and decode that hidden conversation, shall we? I mean, come on, we've all been here, right? You get this big, scary copy profile error box. And right below that giant red X, it cheerfully tells you the operation completed successfully. Wait, what? So, which is it, an error or a success? This is just classic textbook design confusion. And hey, this kind of stuff isn't just on our screens. Check this out. You've got a do not enter sign telling you one thing, while this massive arrow painted on the road is pointing you in the exact opposite direction. So, what do? Which one are you supposed to follow? It's just another one of those totally conflicting signals. Okay, or how about this one? This one makes me crazy. The ATM literally offers you the option to take out 20 bucks. So you press the button feeling pretty good about it, and then bam, sorry, unable to issue $20. It's just so infuriating. Why would you even offer an option that's not possible in the first place? So all these examples, they all point to this one big question, right? Why is some technology just so frustrating to use? It really feels like it's been designed to work against us sometimes. Well, believe it or not, there's actually an entire field of study dedicated to solving this exact problem. And that field? It's called human-computer interaction, or HCI for short. The best way to think about it is, well, it's the study of that conversation we were talking about, the one between us and our devices. And it's all about this quest to make that conversation as smooth and, as intuitive as it can possibly be. So if you look up the official definition, it'll say something like, it's a discipline concerned with the design, evaluation, and implementation of interactive computer systems for human use. And honestly, that last part, for human use, that's everything. That is the entire point. And to really get a grip on it, we can just break the name down into its three main parts. First, you've got the human. That's you, me, all of us. Then there's the computer, the tech we're using. And finally, the interaction, which is just how those two things talk to each other. Now, when we talk about the human element, it actually goes surprisingly deep. I mean, good design has to think about our senses: sight, hearing, touch. It has to think about our mental models, which is just a fancy way of saying how we think something should work. It even considers different learning styles and cultural backgrounds. It's all about understanding the person first and foremost. And when we say computer, it's really important you don't just picture a laptop or a desktop. In the world of HCI, a computer is pretty much any interactive technology. We're talking your phone, the dashboard in your car, your smart thermostat, yeah, even your microwave. Okay, so if that's what HCI is, what's it trying to do? What are the goals of good design? What actually makes a piece of technology feel good when you use it? Well, it's about way more than just making something work. Think of it like a recipe. You need it to be usable, effective, and of course, safe. But then you also need a dash of efficiency, right? So you can get stuff done fast. And finally, you add a little bit of appeal. So it's actually, a pleasure to use. Okay, let's look at a physical example to make this super clear. On the screen, you see two egg separators. The one on the left, simple, functional, gets the job done. The one on the right is, well, it's a novelty, it's kind of funny. But be honest, which one would you actually reach for every single day when you're in a rush to make breakfast? That right there, that's the difference between just appeal and real, honest-to-goodness usability. And that simple egg separator, it perfectly illustrates what is probably the single most important idea in this whole field. The technology has to adapt to us. We shouldn't have to adapt to the technology. Our needs, the user's needs, have to be the number one priority, period. It's wild to think about, but all the stuff we take for granted today, like icons and folders and windows on our screens, these were once totally revolutionary ideas. So how did we even get here? Well, a quick trip back in time kind of shows how it all clicked into place. Things really started picking up steam back in the 60s with a system called Sketchpad. It introduced this wild idea called direct manipulation, the thought that you could actually touch and move graphics around on a screen. Sounds basic now, but it was mind-blowing then. Fast forward to 1975, and the word icon is officially coined. And all of this innovation, it led to two absolute game changers: the Xerox Star and the Apple Macintosh. Let's zoom in on the Xerox Star for a second, because this machine was a monumental leap forward. I mean, it was a very first commercial system to pull all of these new user-friendly ideas together into one single package. And what it gave us is, well, it's basically everything. It introduced the graphical user interface, the GUI, which is just our visual desktop instead of endless lines of code. It gave us icons and folders to represent our files, and it came with a mouse. Think about that. These are the absolute fundamental building blocks of how we use computers today. But here's the crazy part. For as revolutionary as the Xerox Star was, it wasn't a commercial success. It was actually the Apple Macintosh, back in 1984, that took all these powerful HCI concepts and finally, successfully, brought them to the masses. And that changed the world of personal computing forever. And this is so important to grasp. These weren't just a random list of new features. This was a fundamentally new language, a brand new way for humans and computers to talk to each other. It was a visual, direct conversation that pretty much anyone could learn. All right, so let's bring this all back to the present day. We've talked about what HCI is, we've looked at a bit of its history, but why does any of this matter now, in a world where tech is literally everywhere? So this diagram, yeah, it might look a little complicated at first glance, but it really shows why HCI is so powerful. See, it's not just one thing. It's this incredible intersection where computer science meets psychology, where art and design meet ergonomics. It's this huge collaborative effort, all focused on getting things right for the person using it. But for all of that complexity, the main idea boils down to something beautifully simple. It's about understanding people. It's about removing the friction between us and our tools so that the technology itself just disappears. Great design lets you focus on what you actually want to do, not on the tool you're using to do it. And all of this leaves us with one last big thought. Technology is becoming more a part of us than ever before. I mean, it's on our wrists, in our ears, maybe even on our faces soon. So the real question is, how is this human-computer conversation going to evolve next? What will that unseen language look like 10, 20 years from now?